Hi there. Somebody contacted me down and said, okay, I should share my story. How was the challenges that they are doing laundry business, but they are going through some. It looks like they are not progressing. Okay. First of all, I'll tell you how we started. We started this laundry business not out of passion. I wasn't passionate about washing people's dirty clothes, to be honest. It's the last thing. I always liked the exotic things, the music. I wanted to be in the entertainment industry. I wanted to write script, produce movies, and do whatever. For some reason, I tried them, and I'll be honest with you, I failed. I didn't do well in them. And at the time, I became very bankrupt, very depressed. I was going through low moods, So I was just thinking, what can I do? With what I have at where I am in life, I didn't have resources anymore. I've tried so many things, and they were failing. So my friend just said, you know what? Why don't you? He came up with the idea. It wasn't even my idea. He said, why don't you wash? There's a guy that comes to pick up my clothes, speaks to everybody, this and that. I'm like, wash? I don't even wash my own clothes. I have an aboki, a guy that comes to my house, picks my clothes, goes to wash it. And he was doing a horrible job. I noticed he was very busy. So I thought about washing, I thought about food business, we thought about selling clothes, but I didn't have capital. In all this, I needed capital. Laundry was the only thing I could start with the most minimal capital. All I needed was my hands, an iron, bucket, and a soap. I didn't even have a gem to say how bad it is. Things have gotten so low for me at that time. So it was a depressing time, and I thought, okay, I'll give it a shot. I have nothing to lose. And like I always tell all of you, what's the worst that will happen? You learn, right? You didn't lose. That's my mindset. Start small but dream very, very big. Start small but dream very big. So I said, what's the best it can be? So I said, okay, now, since I'm trying to study professionally, that like I always tell people, washing at home to go to church, wash your clothes on Saturday is different from laundry professionally. So I went to Victoria Island and in Lekki, all those places, looking for dry cleaners that are doing it, that would train me. I even offered some of them that I was going to work for free just to understand the inside workings of the laundry business. And all of them said no. I said, okay, I'll pay. How much do you want to charge me? Let me pay it money. Well, none of them wanted to open their doors to me. So for some reason, I saw a guy in K2. I can't remember what I went to do with K2. I only go to that side. And the guy said, okay, go and bring 20,000 naira. And I paid 20,000 naira. I did the training from Monday to Saturday. Now, when I started the training, I learned a lot from the guy that you might think training was very important. Stain removal, texture of fabric. It was a local washerman, for all you care. A very local washerman, who uses bucket. He has been in the business for years. So I said, I can learn from anybody, but I don't have to remain the way he was. I'll take you back to when I ran into him 3 years later. Okay? So he was the only guy that opened his door, and he taught me stain remover, all those local industrial, and I learned. So when I went back, I started exactly the way because I didn't have money, but I knew that wasn't my vision to be. He was like a washerman, So I started with about that 100K. Went to the market, bought buckets. I bought a steam iron. I bought plastic. I bought brush, then detergents and nylon that we're going to use to package the clothes, and we started. So now along the line, I started doing It taught me a bit of ironing. So I started the ironing. My partner was washing, but my ironing was horrible. Okay. So what I did is I went outside, got what they call the counting. Counting is whereby you bring washermen that are professionals that work with top dry cleaners and you count clothes for them. So let's say you charge 500 for ironing only. These counting guys will charge you 200 or 250 or 150 depending on it. So that's what I started doing. I started doing the washing myself manually, no washing machine. Okay, I wash, I'll give it to him, you iron. I wash, and we did that for about. I did that with him for about 3 4 months. There were two of them. When he started disappointing me, I said, hey, maybe it's time to get a staff. Okay. So what I did, I put out a vacancy and I got a staff. I got my first staff who was just doing ironing. I was doing the washing myself. So we did that. It was okay. And I was going to tell you what happened. Then one day, I've collected clothes for the weekend and I come back. His name was Collins. And I came back. Lo and behold, Collins didn't come to work. And hereby we were stuck. I started running helter skelter. And for 3 days or 4 days, I couldn't get iron. The person I got for counting started catching, and we did it. These are part of the challenges. It was one of the worst period of my life. So we did it, and